Welcome to this magical taping of the Power Pod. I am yes, it is magical there, Tina. I'm your host, Jared Yamamoto. That magical voice to my left. Yeah, there we go. That's left. That's Tina right there. She's also in the box to my left. Beneath Tina, in the box just beneath her, that would be George Clark.
Hello.
George Clark is holding the ship together. And to the right of George Clark, all the way down in Savannah, Georgia, that is none other than Nicole Bennett.
Good evening, everyone. Hello.
Look how proper. We've
Guten
already.
Abend.
Oh, wow. You know what? My goodness.
Gosh.
That is just how proper and how wonderful everybody is.
Worldly we are. Yep.
Worldly, yes, here on this show. You know what? I was going to let the people know. So a lot of people obviously tune in and they know that on every Thursday night, we tape segments for our Athens radio show. That's, again, the show is called The Power Pod, and it airs from 10 to noon on 98.7 FM and AM1340 WGAU. And the really cool thing that we do here is, since we started off as a podcast before we became a radio show, our podcasters are loyal and they are all over the globe. We love doing this for them. So we actually give you a glimpse into how we tape some of the segments for the radio show. And we actually drop the podcast before the radio show. So you actually get it first. And that's just the guarantee that we give you guys for being loyal fans of this show. And we also welcome in all of the other Facebook pages that are watching us right now. I realize that you got some of Tina's fans that are watching. George Clark's got a couple of his burner pages that are probably sharing this right now. I realize that Nicole Bennett, wow, she's like, I don't know, maybe my ex account, that I use 17 times a year. Yeah. And of course, my accounts that are streaming this as well too. So we appreciate everybody watching from whatever account you're watching. We appreciate you taking your Thursday night with us. I believe I've hit most of the main points here, George, wouldn't you say?
That you have.
Look at that. George always keeps me in line here to make sure that we are knocking out all of the key points here. So I believe that we are going to start. Actually, George, what segment are we going to do here?
We're going to do segment 21,203.
21,203. Man, we've just done a lot of these, guys. A lot of these. Over 300 episodes, I believe, of the Power Pod now.
Really?
Yeah, I believe we're over the 300 mark. I can tell you right now by looking at by looking at this right now. So let me look at our podcast feed, because usually when you go to like a place like Apple Podcasts, which if you haven't subscribed to us, you absolutely need to. It tells you how many are in there. Yeah, over. So there are 7 that you could see right now currently in the feed, and it says 322. So that's pretty impressive. Bravo, Nicole. Bravo.
Wow.
Tina's probably done about 7 of them. So
what?
Yeah. How many? George has been there for the majority of them. Nicole's been there for the majority.
I've been here a lot.
Yeah, for like 6 of them, probably.
Okay,
6.5.
Sometimes I have.
She's in high demand.
Thank you.
That's exactly what
Nicole.
it is. She works in the fashion industry.
I do. Sometimes they need me on the runway. Sometimes they need me. Sometimes I got to work my real job. This is my fun job. That's my real job.
She's got to shake her booty on the side.
I gotta shake it up for you.
Make some money somehow.
That's right. Hey, this economy right now, guys.
I'm gonna start doing feet pics.
Okay.
Hey, make it happen.
Start dressing up like a grandma now.
Honestly.
Oh yeah, which revealing a little bit what we talked about there in the first hour. Which of course you have to download. This is a full podcast to hear about that. So I believe I am ready. George Clark, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, let's go on and start segment number 21,203 on your mark.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back, Athens, Georgia, to the second hour of today's edition of the Power Pod. We've got Jared Yamamoto. We've got Christina Aiklin. We've got Nicole Bennett. We've got myself, George Clark. We do not have RandiO or Mike B, but they will be here soon enough. Take it away, Jared Yamamoto.
Yes, that is right. And thank you for correcting the intro there. I can't stand when RandiO gets included in there when she's not with us. You know what? She doesn't deserve to be included in the intro. And of course, Mike B has a well-deserved day off. I mean, that's just the difference between how people put together their paid time off
every time
here on the Power. But well, you know what? I'm consistent. That's
you are.
Thing
yeah,
here on the show.
Are.
Is that and then I would expect the 3 ladies on the
shocker,
show.
Jared's mad at us.
That being Randy, Tina, and Nicole. I expect better out of you guys, and I expect you to be involved with every show that we do.
I expect you to be nicer
here on. Well, that's maybe in 2024 that could be your New Year's resolution.
That's your New Year's resolution.
You would like Jared, your host, to be
Oh
much
my
nicer
God.
here on the
My
Power Pod.
resolution?
I like that. I like
No,
that.
I don't like that.
Maybe
Whatever.
you wish upon a star. Your wish will come true this holiday season.
What are you, Disney?
You know what? Maybe I am.
Okay,
I am
just stop.
Mr. Walt Disney here. So what, again, we got a lot of stuff that we left on the table before we kicked you guys out of here. Did a couple producers picks. George and I were getting into it, though. I'm so glad that you got your passport appointment.
Oh,
That's
yes.
Amazing news. And
Thank you.
again, going to England next
My
week.
lucky stars.
Hopefully all the paperwork works out and you're going to be okay. And we got a chance to kind of bro out with some Al Michaels talk and everything like that.
Mhm.
So, of course you're like, you guys, you ladies wouldn't care about that. I mean, maybe Nicole would care about it a little bit, but I realized in all of that conversation there, Tina had brought up a TikTok story in the first hour and had rudely, as we were kicking her out of here, was saying, "Oh my God, I didn't get a chance to get to my second one." And then I rudely responded back to her. I said, "Well, hey, if you're going to bring up more than one TikTok story, we used to have a segment. And honestly, George, I think we should blow the dust off this segment and bring it back. We had a segment called TikTok on the Clock. So if you're going to bring up multiple TikTok stories, I think that we need to open this back up." So with being said, what was the first story again, real quick, just to refresh me a little bit?
Recap. Now, if you're on TikTok, you're on the streaming app, you may have noticed a new feature that was rolled out recently. It's a add music feature. So if you're listening, you hear a song, you can add it to your streaming device.
This is basically TikTok's way of trying to say, hey, look, we're not that bad. We're not that bad of an app. Woo, look at us. We like Spotify. We like Apple Music. Blah, 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 blah. That's basically what they're trying to do. But your other TikTok story that you didn't get a chance to get to in the first hour, what was the other one?
Yeah, so there's another trend going around TikTok called the hashtag Let Them Theory. And it's accumulated like 30 million views. It's been popping off on the TikToky.
Now, have you seen it personally in your For You page?
I have not. I think this is more for the youngsters. I deem myself more, I get more millennial content.
Oh, you do? So like what kind of content are you getting on there? That's
getting a lot of cat videos.
Okay, a lot of cat videos. Understood. Nicole, have you finally bit the bullet and joined TikTok?
No, I have not. And I have no idea what this trend is. I'm so curious.
Yeah, so it's cool. So podcast host named Mel Robbins is very active on TikTok. She's a motivational speaker, and she has encouraged everyone to, quote, let them. And this theory goes something like this.
So I've been using this thing called the let them theory. I love this. I want you to try it. Here's how it works. The next time you feel left out, your friends all go out to brunch together and they don't invite you. Let them. Or maybe the person you're dating doesn't want a commitment. Let them.
No.
Or perhaps your spouse does not want to do the 5K with you. Let them. Your company is laying people off. Let them. You spend so much time and energy trying to control other people and getting emotionally worked up about things that are beyond your control.
Okay, so I realize that we have a generation behind us that may not have been exposed to the dating world as long as the millennials here on this panel. But I feel like, and not to be a jerk, that's common sense, right? Like if somebody doesn't want to hang out with you and they're obviously being cold around you, then it's up to you as an individual to say, hey, these people don't like me, obviously, and I probably should move on and make other friends instead of begging them and getting all upset with them. But I do realize that in a mean girl world, I know that in particular, women have to deal with this a lot, where it's like they have to appease, one of the queen bees or something like that in their group of friends. Like, oh my God, you know what? I cannot believe that Michaela wouldn't let me go and wear this particular dress or this or
Jared, that was very specific.
Yeah,
did Michaela do something to you?
I'm just telling you, this is what I observed. I grew up with four sisters and a brother, and having the four sisters, like they would be worried about what one of the other girls in their friend group said.
What Michaela was saying.
What Michaela was saying in particular,
mean.
or what Chastanine would say, or something.
Wow.
Some of these girls that would be so freaking mean. And I remember being like, as a younger brother and older brother in circumstances, just a brother in general, I would be like, why are you dealing with that? Like, if my buddy were telling me to go, go through all these hoops to be his friend, I would, you could damn well guarantee that I would never go through all of those hoops, because it's not worth it. Like I would move over to another friend group. Now, I realize that I may have a bit of an advantage being an extrovert, right? Tina, you know this. You're an extrovert as well, too.
Right.
So you probably didn't have to deal with this as much. But for Mel Robbins to come out and say, just let them. Maybe this is, maybe we're just hitting on something where generationally they just haven't been exposed to this before. And I would like to go viral for giving this information. It's obvious. Hang out with friends that you like and like you back. Like, this is not a very unusual trend or an unusual thing that's going on, right, Tina?
I think the focus here, because if you think too long about it, it kind of makes me mad too. I'm like, yeah, of course you're going to let them do what they do. You cannot control others and what they're going to do. But I think it does give you a little bit of a more peaceful mindset. So you can look at it positively. You can say, yeah, okay, I asked Jared to take out the trash, or, I asked George to pull me some audio and he didn't do it. Like I'm saying, like, I don't know.
The troubles of the radio world.
The troubles of the radio world. I asked Nicole to do a podcast with me, and she's like, yeah, I don't know about that.
Tina.
Just kidding. We should start
airing that out.
I know, sorry. Drama. No, I'm kidding. But there is definitely like a utility to this mindset. I really do think. Just less anxiety, less try to control others.
I mean, I wouldn't pass a law to say that this kind of activity is bad or that this trend is problematic by any stretch. There have definitely been worse trends, like the one where people were stealing Kias and Hyundais and stuff. Like, oh, I'm stealing your friend's car. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not here to advocate for anything like that. And if it is helping someone, then I do genuinely hope that you're able to learn something from it. Look, did I cover it? Are all the lawyers good here? Yeah. All the lawyers appeased here at WGAU because of what I said. Boss Lady Haley, are you happy with what I said? I don't want anybody to come after me or WGAU for being like, that Jared Yamamoto is a heartless
Michaela's
bastard.
Coming after you.
Yeah, I'm sure Michaela and Chastity will come after me for saying this kind of nonsense. The trend that I keep seeing in my personal feeds, though, has been different. And obviously, everybody gets fed different content through TikTok. I mean, if you're not a part of it, you don't get it. And I understand that. I'm just here to explain it to you, which is why I actually enjoy being on the app. I don't post a lot of content on there, but I do enjoy being on the app. And the trend that I keep getting is the say a girl's name TikTok trend, where girls are trying to rope guys into saying a different name than their name.
Oh, I've seen that.
And there have just been some massive failures with it, where, for example, Nicole would be with her husband, Malcolm, and she would decide in the, they would be maybe Malcolm's playing a video game or something like that. And then she starts recording behind him when he's not paying attention and would say, hey, what's the first girl's name that comes to mind? And instead, he says Michaela instead of Nicole, which the correct answer would be to say
who he is about when she's not. When he's not thinking about Nicole.
Instead of saying Nicole, and then of course Nicole will be like, that bitch Michaela. I cannot believe that she would be top of mind over me. And I should be the first woman that my man is thinking about. So I've been seeing a lot of this trend in particular. And in my opinion, if Tina were to come after me and say and do this trend, I would of course go after the most obnoxious name possible. So that way
that about does it. Yeah.
So you know exactly how this trend's going to go. So I think that the lesson here for anybody using TikTok, I'm not on the outrage side on the trend that Tina brought up in particular. I just think it's obvious. I think that there are better trends out there that can help you. And I know the cooking hacks. I love the electrical hacks and everything like that. I really like the hack TikToks. I think
I like clean talk, cleaning hacks.
Those are good. There is useful information out there, but unfortunately they don't get the news stories because they don't go as viral as the others. Good job there, Tina. I'm glad we blew the dust off of. I like this segment. We're going to have to do this more often. Now, Nicole Bennett, we haven't gotten to a story from you in a year and a half. So what is your next story? Because again, let me reiterate, George Clark, obviously you heard from him. He has his stories. Nicole has stories. And Tina has stories as well. And with all of our powers combined, we are Georgia's favorite weekly recap show. This is the Power Pod. What's your story,
Well, this
Nicole?
story has everything. It's got the holidays, it's got politics, and it's got controversy. Okay. So
I like this.
Austin's Democratic Mayor, Michelle Wu, the city's first Asian American mayor, is coming under fire after sending out invitations for a holiday party intended only for minority city councilors. So it's layered. One, not everyone's totally thinking that's the best idea. And then 2, her assistant sent them out to everyone, including white counselors. So it was very confusing. And then they had to send out an apology email that didn't apologize that they're having the party, but basically saying to those of you who got this, who are not a minority, you are not invited. So
Yeah, this Michelle Wu, was asked about this after this controversy came out, which, by the way, in 2023, are we really doing this nonsense? I just feel like anybody that thinks in a prejudiced mindset, I don't understand it. Like, I mean, I realize that there have been a lot of atrocities that have happened in our past and stuff, but like that mindset is just not in my mind at all. Like, I want to hang out with people that are interesting and fun. And it doesn't matter what you look like, what your sex is, what your gender is. It doesn't matter. Like, people get so wrapped up in this nonsense. I really want to say a bad word there, but
I know, I could tell.
I restrained myself. But of course, like this, even this mayor of Boston here, this Michelle Wu, like when asked about it, she's defending herself. Nicole, listen to this.
I think we've had individual conversations with everyone so people understand that it was truly just an honest mistake that went out in typing the email field. And I look forward to celebrating with everyone at the holiday parties that we will have besides this one as well. So it is my intention that we can, again, be a city that lives our values and create space for all kinds of communities to come together.
Create space so people can have different Christmas parties, which, by the way, this is another trend that's going on right now. Why are all of these companies doing these separate Christmas parties that are like organizational, right? So like if you're part of a department that's like, oh, we're the engineering department. It seems to me that a lot of companies are finding that this is the fad instead of the big Christmas party. I realize in radio world, like we're still doing the big Christmas party, but is this like, I don't know why people are feeling this need to create all of these smaller segmented parties. I mean, is it like a cost saving measure, or what excuse did in particular did this Boston Mayor Michelle Wu make?
So Michelle Wu, and you heard her say this somewhat in that audio, is that she is reminding everyone this is just one of several parties that are happening throughout the season. She is planning a holiday party for all cabinet members, but that this one was something that she was asked to host, and it's the Electeds of Color holiday party. So it's a group of people that asked her to host this. So this is something that's been in the works for a while. I just don't think that the invite was supposed to go out to everybody, and maybe that's why it's blown up now. Maybe it was going to be kind of more private, and now it's not. So
yeah, and then the immediate remedy that you should do is, hey, like I'm going to invite all of the council members to this party, especially if it's on the city of Boston's dime in particular. Like that is absolutely absurd. And hopefully by the end of next week, we get some kind of, fix, some kind of
maybe she'll invite the Power Pod.
Maybe
love
she will. You know, we would definitely have a good time. You know, we would show those Bostonians what's up. You know, we show them a little bit of our Southern pride down here in the state of Georgia. So absolute craziness there. If you're in city government and you think that you have any right to get rid of people and to exclude people from events, get out of government right now, because I got to tell you, you have to get along with people with all kinds of different mindsets out there, all kinds of different backgrounds, and you cannot pick and choose people because of how they look and how they may vote. Ridiculous for an elected official to be saying nonsense like that. I like that story there, Nicole. What's your next story there, Gina?
Next up in the airline world, Southwest Airlines is accused of rewarding obesity with a new policy granting overweight passengers free extra seats. I cannot believe this is a thing right now, but quite literally, you can go on Southwest Airlines, you book 2 seats, and if they grant you that status of being overweight, they're going to refund you for that extra seat.
No, are you actually okay? So I understand. I understand buying 2 seats if you're overweight, right? Which, by the way, I'm sorry. Like, I know there's a lot of overweight people. In fact, you read the stats, right? And it looks like most of America is overweight, right? So I do feel for people that legit have problems sitting in the seat. I know that we've all been in that situation on an airplane where the person next to you is like the rolls are coming over onto you. And it's bad, especially when they start sweating on you. Oh, man, It is bad, and especially if you get a super long flight. I know I've had a flight to like LA and Vegas, and I'm like, oh boy, I'm like, this person's
You're
rolling
like,
on me.
I need a drink.
Yes, I need it right now, or I better, take something to make me go to sleep immediately, so that way I can tolerate
man.
this nonsense. But you shouldn't be rewarding somebody for being overweight here. And I think most overweight people have known, just from, the flying industry, the aviation industry being the way it is, that if you are overweight, you need to buy 2 seats. So why would Southwest incentivize this? Are they going to be the airline of the obese? Is that what's going to happen here?
No, I think they're trying to cater to all. And of course,
Well, what if I want 2 seats?
Well, that exactly. Well, that's the same feedback that customers are giving. While some body positive customers have praised the policy.
Oh God, body positivity. That's okay. That is the buzzword right there. I'm glad you brought that up there, Tina. I knew it. So all I need to do on Southwest then is wear a fat suit, and they're going to grant me with an extra seat here. See, that makes me, I'm like legit upset about that. And that's not okay, that people are finding ways to get an extra seat here. No, if you're overweight, you need to buy 2 seats. That's that. Like, it should be incentive for you to lose the weight to get to
you're going to get a refund
to get to a healthy weight. I mean, is this going to stand for a while? I mean, what do you think, Tina?
I don't think so. And I think one user made a great point. What about the extra tall people, the 6'6", 6'7" height? Like, do they need extra leg room? Like, do they get rewarded for, like having needing more space? And then those who travel with medical equipment. I know my father, for example, travels with a CPAP machine. Granted, they've become more compact with recent years and discovery making, the equipment smaller, but you often wonder, how are you going to accommodate these customers?
Yeah. I mean, you've got to figure out a way. If you're going to make exceptions for one group of people, then you have to start making exceptions for everyone, which then that becomes the super slippery slope for Southwest, which is why I'll be flying other airlines aside from Southwest. All right. Very good. That was a segment right there.
This poor girl.
Here on the Power Pod. Hey, thank you, David, Tessa. Hey, you know what, Tessa, even if you're hating, that's fine. You know what? I still love you. Jack, what's going on? And Helen, how are you? Everybody that's hanging out here in the chat. We are obviously taping segments for our WGAU radio show, and happy that you're taking this busy holiday season to spend it with us. Maybe where, you're like, oh my God, I'm super stressed out. But oh my God, I see Nicole on there. Oh, Nicole is my call. She's so helpful. Oh, and I see that, I don't like her, but you know what? I like having.
I love you guys.
I like having Nicole on board. And you know what? Or maybe you want to hear more of George Clark, and now you got a chance to hear a little bit from George as well too. Thank you, Chip. Much appreciated for that commentary there. I get a little upset sometimes, and I try my best not to be up here all the time, being all fired up, but sometimes the news cycle just feeds us stories, or these ladies in particular are feeding me stories that are going to make me react that way. Right. So I will try my best to calm myself down a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay.
So we're going to give you guys one more segment. And for those, again, that are tuning in, we are taping segments for our Athens radio show that will air this Sunday. The Power Pod podcast will drop later on this evening. All right, Georgie. So let's start segment number 21,204 on your mark.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Everybody's welcome all across Athens, Georgia, to join us and listen to this, the Power Pod on WGAU with our host, Jared Yamamoto.
Yes, and I got a little fired up about the obese seats, or the Southwest obese seating that is just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Obesity, if you will. Okay, I'm done.
Hey,
oh my
I
God.
see what you did there. You know what, Nicole, you're not fired today. In fact, I'll give you.
Good.
I'll give you a little
good
job there. Good job.
You got a bell, a Christmas bell.
You got a Christmas bell. Yes, she did. And you're rewarded with the next story, because on this weekly recap show, we are required to cover the news of the week. That's how it became Georgia's favorite weekly recap show. So what is the next story?
What is next? At 34 years old, SZA's bucket list is already completely checked off, you guys. In a recent interview, she said she confessed she doesn't have any more goals for her music career because she's already done them all.
Okay, so unpopular opinion, SZA is a boring individual. If at 34 years old, she's already completed everything on her list, which SZA, I mean, she is such a big star. We actually had a chance to see her last year at Hangout Music Fest. Super talented. Obviously crosses over from the rap and the pop world, which is so cool that you can do that. But to say that your bucket list is completely checked off is ridiculous. Like, you need to come up with other goals so that way you can continue to live life and continue to be successful and continue to learn things. I mean, there's no way that she thinks that she knows everything about the world, right, Nicole?
Well, she's done a lot though, Jared. She said, I've gone platinum. I sold a bunch of records. I got to meet Stevie Wonder, work with Beyonce, meet Frank Ocean. My mom and dad came to all these cool countries to see her perform. She's nominated for Grammys. She's won a Grammy, headlined a festival. She was like, that's really more than I ever dreamed would happen. So I'm good.
Well, that's good that she dreamed that all of that stuff would happen. But I would say at 34, she is still quite a young woman, and she has a lot of runway in front of her. And she needs to understand that it's okay to come up with other goals. Your values may change. Like, maybe you read every Charles Dickens novel. Maybe you decide that, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be in a movie or something. I want to get an Oscar now, so that way I can add this to my list of qualifications and my list of
where they do Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. I mean, she's gotta. You're right. Expand her universe a little.
Nicole, the way that you responded to that so quickly there, I mean, it sounds like you want that. Does that sound like a goal of yours there?
I mean, maybe since I was like a little kid, but it's not a big deal. It's fine. It's whatever.
Okay. All right. I get that people would want to do that. And I think that she should look at an artist like maybe like a Lady Gaga or something like that, who has crossed over so well into all these different ventures, right? She's not just a music gal anymore. She is, involved in movies all the time. She's writing. I believe she's directing now. She's doing all these different things, and she's so talented. And I think
never limit yourself.
Yes, never say, "Oh, I'm done."
Never say never.
What? Yeah. See, thank you. And I think that most people would give SZA this advice here. I think that she doesn't need to just completely box herself in and say, "Well, I'm good. I don't need to cover anything else anymore." So for the PR team for SZA, you can send your emails to jaredyamamoto@cmg.com and let people know exactly how you feel, because I realize her people are probably going to come after me. But hey, that's what makes it great. We'll be back with Randy's Rundown. All right. There we go.
Yay!
2 radio segments done for our WGAU radio show. How do you feel about them, Nicole?
I feel great. That was great, you guys. I think we're killing it.
Yeah. Now, how are you guys feeling out there? The wonderful folks that we're watching. How do you guys feel about it? I'll give them a second to think about it. Tina, what do you rank those segments?
I rank them a 12 out of 10. Honestly,
12 out of 10. George Clark.
I don't think we have any. We can cross off our bucket list. We're good.
Yep, cross off the bucket list.
That's right. It's more than anything I ever dreamed of. I'm done.
It is. You know what? It's wonderful. Jordan, I see your question here. You say, what are you doing Christmas Eve? Will you be watching Santa and tracking Santa? I love being a Santa tracker. I love it. The NORAD.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Jordan.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Power Pod. Absolutely. I mean, I think that it's still magical to me just to watch like NORAD and see it's like, oh my gosh, Santa's over cynical or something like that.
Why are you laughing about that, Jared?
Jared, why are you laughing?
Because
you're getting choked up.
Full of joy.
You're getting kind of choked up.
I'm getting choked up right there. All the boys and girls in Senegal are getting their toys and their presents all at one time there, which is a great
Jared's like, bring him over here. Go.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs to be over Georgia.
Yeah, and then his route is just incredible. Like he'll end up in Europe, he'll be over Asia, and then he is over Australia. You're like, oh wow, like you would think you would kind of do like a zigzag approach, but
it's kind of crazy. Yeah,
and he ends up.
I am excited for Santa to visit.
Around.
Yeah, he ends up. He spirals.
I have a couple of requests from Santa. Hopefully, he arrives.
Okay, good.
To my house.
Oh wow. Okay, you get a nice
Not
list.
Like that. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, new trend for 2024.
I guess so.
Y'all
Watch
are
out,
sick.
Pornhub.
Hey!
That's not what I was talking about. Now I'm blushing.
Tune into the earlier segments to
That's
understand what we're
and find out all about that. Which, by the way, again, the cool thing about the Power Pod is that this podcast will drop later on this evening. In fact, George and I will try to get it out before midnight tonight. So if you're like, oh my God, I need the Power Pod in my life.
I need it in my veins.
Then you can listen to it right now. But I can say as of right now that there is a brand new Power Pod Sports Pod available. We just recorded that on Tuesday and I got it uploaded today. What's up?
We're being asked what time we go to bed.
Yeah. What time are we going to bed?
You know what I would say? What do you think? Like 11:30?
Usually, like, I'm in bed by 11, but my head doesn't actually like hit the pillow until 11:30.
Yeah, good. A little bit of TikTok research.
A little bit of
course.
TikTok,
Exactly.
reading,
That's right.
you know.
Chip, you as well, buddy. Thank you. You enjoy your holidays and you stay safe as well, man.
Yes. Thank you, Adam.
Yes, I think
Texas.
Yes, thank you, Mary. Or thank you, Adam.
Yeah,
I read
Wow.
Mary on there, and I was like, thank you, Mary.
Wow.
No, thank you, Adam, and Merry Christmas from you to you as well.
He's just daydreaming about Santa tracker.
That's
so.
exactly what I'm doing right now. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Again, PowerPod Sports Pod is available right now, or you can listen to this on WGAUradio.com. So that'll
Merry
be
Christmas.
98.7 FM, AM 1340 WGAU from 10 to noon this Sunday, or this upcoming Sunday, right?
Yes,
I'm like
that's right.
losing my train of thought here, which means that we need to end the stream because we got more.